how's it going? This is Hector Mora, and I wanted to share with you another video to give you a real life view of what to expect when selling books. A lot of people will post numbers that say, oh man, I'm making $9,000 or making $10,000, $20,000 a month, and this is how much I'm making a week. But the numbers that you're seeing from the Seller Central app are kind of skewed because they don't show you exactly the cost of the product, the time you spent, and the actual money that you take home. And so what I want to do is I want to show you what that looks like for a bookseller. Now, this isn't, for anybody doing RA or video games or shoes, whatever that might be. It's strictly for someone who is selling books and who started a journey 10 weeks ago. So right now I'm going to show you numbers from 9 weeks in. I'm on my 10th week, but it's the numbers are all based on 9 weeks of selling. So my first sale was done on June 5th. My first sourcing date was May 25th. It was at an estate sale. I didn't really know what I was doing. I had the ScoutIQ app, but there was a lot of really old books. And these old books, I had to manually type in ISBN. So I was sitting there, with the microphone and saying it manually, and then hoping that they would show up green. But some books did have barcodes, but I didn't have a scanner. It was my very first scan ever. And so as I went about sourcing this place, I found, I took home, about $50 worth of books that I got for like 50 cents each. And to me, it was still profitable because there was some books in there that were long tail books, but they were pretty profitable. They were like $30, $40, $50 profits on each one of them. And so some of them have been selling, and they've been selling slowly, but it was a good learning experience. And that's one thing that I want to share with you, is that every time you go and source somewhere, see it as a learning experience. Don't see it as like, oh man, I made a ton of money here, or oh, I didn't make any money here. See it as a learning experience, because if you don't see it that way, you're not going to grow from it, and you're not going to really see, you're not going to mature in your book selling journey. And so back to the numbers, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen with you, and I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like to be a bookseller. So number one, here, let's go to the investment part of it. So in books, I've listed 1,890 books. I know that's not on here, but I've spent $1,938.98 on books alone. Okay, so that was my buy-in to this over the course of 9 weeks. That's how much I've spent on books alone. Okay, in supplies, that means boxes, tape, poly bags, printer paper that's not on there, and ink. I've spent about $109.73. Also, you have to know that some boxes I've gotten for free, so I've just reused those boxes, and it's kept my cost down to a minimum. Also, the apps that I've used. So AccelerList helps you list your product way faster than Seller Central. I remember the first batch that I sent out, I had to literally scan each book into Seller Central and then highlight all the books that I had put in and create a shipment like that, and it took me forever. Once I found out about AccelerList, man, it was so easy. Literally type in the ISBN, type in the cost or the price that you're going to send it as, or you want to sell it as, and then it'll create the shipment for you, and you could send it out, and it's amazing. ScoutIQ is another app. I think AccelerList is $34.99. ScoutIQ, I started at $44 a month, and I added my wife to it, so that's an extra $10, so it's $54 a month. So all in all, it's $88 month, but I didn't add my wife until month 2, so that's why the numbers are a little bit skewed. It's at $156 that I've spent. So a total investment of $2,204.71. Okay, so that is what I put into this book selling business. Now, sales from 6/5 when I had my first sale to today, which is August 5th, 2019. Roughly, it's about 9 weeks of sales. It'll be 9 weeks on Wednesday. I've sold $9,080.73. I've sold 560 books. That gives us an average sale price of $16.24. That means out of every time I sell a book, the average price of all the books I've sold is $16.24, which is pretty normal, not really high, but not low. So if you think about it this way, there's been books that I've sold for $100, been books that I've sold for 60, 70, 50, 30. And then there's books that I've sold for $7.99, $8.99. But the average price was $16.24, which is pretty good. If you think about it this way, if you source 100 books, once you get to that tipping point that Matthew Osborne and Caleb Roth talk about in the 100 book challenge, if you're selling 100 books and sourcing 100 books, you're say you buy 100 books for $1 a piece, you're spending $100, but you're getting back 1,624. So that's pretty crazy. If you were to have a $10 average sale price, or I'm sorry, if you were to sell 100 books at $16.24. Now, payouts. So this is the real deal. Like, this is straight from Seller Central. Mid-June, that was, I sold my first book June 5th. So mid-June, I had a payout. That payout was negative $211.42. Why? Because I was shipping books like crazy. I was shipping books, I sourced for about 3 or 4 weeks straight, and from May 25th until mid-June, and I was just sending books like crazy, and that shipping cost adds up. And so it was $211.42. By the end of June, I had sold a lot of books. However, it wasn't enough to create a payout, so I ended up with nothing. So, and that's why, in my interview with Matt Osborne, that week 4, 5, and 6 is so hard to get over, because you've invested so much time, so much money, so much effort, and you don't see a payout. Then in mid-July, 2 weeks after that, after seeing a ton of sales, I was at a $35.92 payout. And you're just like, man, what's going on? Like, why, if I sold thousands of dollars worth of books, why am I only getting $35? Well, Amazon holds money. It's kind of like a parent that's holding a piggy bank for you, and that's not letting you overspend, because it knows that you're going to need to invest more money to make more money. And so what will happen is Amazon will hold money for you, and they will to account for refunds, to account for more shipping costs, to account for whatever costs may come up as you're sending books out. And so that kind of was hard for me, like, to deal with, but I understood the business model. They want you to be successful. And so, they held, I think it was about $900, and that balance transferred over to the next pay period. And at the end of July, I got my first 4-figure payout, which was $1,161.53. And then from there was another balance that transfers over, but this time, the one that I'm going to get in mid-August, which is in about 10 days, is carrying over a balance of, I think, about $1,000, close to $1,000. And then it's adding, the sales. It's giving you incremental money from the sales that you've accumulated from the end of that pay period till today. And so if you were to add all of that up, my payouts amount to $2,386.03. Okay, so that is what you should expect at the end of 9 weeks, or I'm sorry, at the end of 11 weeks. We're in the ninth week right now, and I won't see that next payout for another 10 days. We'll call it, 10 or 11 weeks. You're going to be cash flow, what we call cash flow positive. That means if you were to stop sourcing, right, not buy any more books, you're going to continue, you've already going to have made up all of the money you invested, and you're going to continue to make money as books sell. Okay, now one thing you have to realize that if you don't sell $40 worth of books, more than that, then you're going to have a negative balance, because it takes $39.99 in order to have a seller account, a professional seller account, so that you can sell, over 40 items a month. And so, a month. So keep that in mind. From now, if I were to stop, for me, I'm going back. I'm a teacher, so school starts. I'm not going to be sourcing as much, but I am figuring out a way to get free books, which I'm going to talk about in another video, and looking at buying bulk, and doing my sourcing in my garage, on the weekend with my kids and having a good time. So, or when I get home from school. So, remember, if you were to stop sourcing, then after 9 weeks, after 10 weeks, you're probably going to be cash flow positive, and you're going to be making money, residual income, or passive income, as Pat Flynn likes to call it, for probably the next 6 months. And, I don't know what that looks like, so I can tell you, but my goal is to keep sourcing and keep feeding the beast in order to continue receiving these crazy payouts. Now, speaking of profitability, if you look at the numbers, this is what it looks like. What I just finished talking about. The investment was $2,204.71. The payouts after my mid-August payout is going to be 2386.03, leaving me with cash flow positive amount of $181.32. Now you might think, man, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. You just worked, for 9 weeks straight, and you only have $181. That's terrible. Yeah, you could see it that way. Or you could see it as, I'm paying it forward, and I'm going to be making money in the future without me doing a dang thing. Like I said, if I were to stop, sourcing books right now, all I would be doing is racking up payout after payout after payout. That is all profit. And if I did a really good job in sourcing the books, and if I did a really good job in looking at the data, looking at the Kiva charts, and really sending books in that were going to sell, guess what? It's going to pay off. And by the time Christmas comes, I'll probably have enough money for these books to pay for all my Christmas presents, for my kids and for my wife and for my family. But I wouldn't know unless I didn't try. And so, what I want to encourage you in is, like, first of all, get over that 4, 5, 6 week hump. Send in as many profitable books as you can, and set yourself up for success in the future. Don't think about it as like, I'm going to get rich quick right now. Think about it as, I'm setting myself up to make incremental money in the future. It's healthy that way, because you don't want to, like, all of a sudden be like if I looked at the $9,000 number, and I'm like, man, I made $9,000. Number one, I'm lying to myself, right? I've only really made $181, but it's starting to come in, and I'm starting to look at the future. The future is looking bright. And, if I were to look at this whole process as a learning experience, and if you were to ask me, would I do it again? 100% I'd do it again. Not only in looking at what I'll be paid, and looking at the amount of time that I spent on this. I mean, I think the log that I have tells me that it's over $100 an hour that I'll be making, just on the amount of profit that has been accumulated in my store. Now, one thing that you'll see us post is projected profit. If I were to look at my entire projected profit for the books that I've sent in, is $22,000. Okay, and you're just like, man, how come you're not seeing that? Well, think about it this way. There's a repricer. So I have a repricing strategy that I use. And what happens with that is that, you told AccelerList that you were going to sell a book for $60, but then your repricer starts to kind of work with the numbers and kind of have you win the buy box, and you might win the buy box at $50. So that's $10 that was projected but that you didn't see. And so you have to be careful in how you present those numbers, because that won't always be the truth. Again, it's just a projection of what you might make. And it does give you some kind of comfort, because you're realizing, man, I'm sending 149 SKUs, and if everything was to sell, I'd make $1,000 projected profit. And that is a good feeling, but it's not always what reality is going to be. And so keep that in mind. And I hope this video helps. I hope you see the truth. And comment below if you have any questions. I'd love to help you. I will be releasing a video in the next couple days about how I can partner with you in getting you free books. It's going to be a pretty fun little journey where you can target. We're going to be able to target your city and give people your phone number. Maybe you have a Google Voice number that you can distribute through an ad. And what will happen is people will start calling you to give you the free books. It's going to cost something, but again, to every profit, there is a story, there is an investment. Money just doesn't come out of the sky and it's deemed as profit. That's more of a gift. What I'm trying to do is have you invest in something and see the value in it, so that when the profit comes, you value the strategy that we put together. And that's something that I've learned from. Actually, I'm on my way right now. I'm about to leave. I'm gonna go pick up some free books. If you go on my Instagram at Hemo Hustles, HEMO Hustles plural. You'll be able to see that story. I'll be picking up a few boxes. I don't know if they're profitable. I don't know what they'll bring, but I've seen a picture of them. They're from a teacher, and hopefully there's some profit in it. But guess what? All I'm spending on that is about 2 gallons worth of gas, right? And about an hour. I'm driving there, be there in about 25 minutes, put the books in my car, about 10 minutes, leave another card with the gentleman, and hopefully, he spreads the message to other teachers. Hey, this guy will come pick up your books for free. And I'll come back 25 minutes, spend another hour going through the stuff and listing the stuff. I'm probably in it 2 hours and about $10 worth of gas. I live in California. So we'll see what the profit is. Stay tuned and subscribe. Smash that like button. Comment below any questions you have. I'm here to help. DM me on social, and we'll see about how we can make you more profitable. All right. Hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good week. Get out there. Hustle, hustle, hustle. All right. Peace.